We're going to talk about these two palettes today, and this is the Bad Habit SuperNova, and this is the Natasha Denona Lila palette, $130, well, $129 and $16. And we're going to talk about those two palettes, look at swatches together. I'm going to do this eye look for you, and then we're going to see what you want to do. This picture shows the size comparison of the two palettes. The Lila palette is a substantial purple vinyl which has heavy-duty stitching on the outside. Its letters are embossed. The SuperNova palette is a sleek, slick-feeling heavy cardboard. Its front has magenta colors with foiled swirls, and the words in the front are in silver. Inside the Lila palette is a casing made of black foam with 4 round magnets that secure the palette shut. There's a heavy-duty plastic film that can be torn out by its perforation or left in place, as I do, to show the shadow names. There is a mirror inside that measures 2 7/8 by 3 7/8. As you can see, the names are not printed under the shades. Each shadow is 2.5 grams. These eyeshadows come out to be $8.60 per shadow at $3.44 per gram, which might seem like a lot to you until you consider what you're willing to pay for a MAC eyeshadow single. A MAC eyeshadow single is 1 gram less product and costs $16. That's almost twice as much. At 2.5 grams, these are as big as a Makeup Forever high-impact eyeshadow but cost half as much. The shelf life on the Lila is 2 years. The SuperNova palette's inside cardboard color is the same as the outside, and the feel of it is comparable to the Huda Desert Dusk palette, I feel. There are magnetic closures that are encased in the cardboard so the palette stays shut, and the mirror is only slightly smaller at 2 3/4 by 3 3/8. There's a flimsy film that covers the shadows, which you can see have the shade names under each. These shadows are very much smaller at only 0.99 grams, making them a whole half a gram smaller than a MAC. Lila palette is made in Italy, while the SuperNova is made in the People's Republic of China. Ingredients for both are listed below. As a testament to this packaging, I want to say that I have dropped this palette pretty hard a couple of times on the floor, and because of the way that it is packaged, nothing has happened to the shadows at all. So what about this one? There you go. Okay, so I wanted to point out that these shadows are, this is a magnetized palette, see? So these shadows aren't glued into a cardboard. The reason it's so heavy is because of the way it's built. So this palette also is, as you can see, pretty protective, and the shadows just fit right back in there, and you can turn it upside down now because that's a magnet that's holding them in. In order to back up what I was saying about the sturdiness of the packaging, I weighed them because you can't exactly feel them yourselves, and as you can tell from the weights, the reason I was comfortable tossing the SuperNova to the floor is because the packaging on it is pretty substantial and there's not much product. As you can see, the SuperNova is only 2.97 ounces lighter than the Lila, which holds more shadow per gram and is the best packaged palette that I own. So since I have the shadows out, let's just do a visual. So this is what we're looking at, and then I'm going to bring in block type from MAC. There we go, and there you can see the difference, and I've already told you what the sizes are, so just a quick visual. Now I'm going to show you each shade in the Lila palette and where the dupe is located in the SuperNova. Following each shade, I will be doing swatches. Each shade was treated exactly the same. My hand was coated with primer and then powdered down. The first 2 swatches in each picture are finger swatches, and the Lila will always be first. Directly next to those 2 are brush swatches using the same synthetic shader brush. Again, the Lila will be first, and the brush was cleaned between each swatch using my color changer. So I have a collection here of Morphe and Zoeva brushes that I'm going to pick from to do the look. On the left hand side I'll be using the Natasha Denona Lila palette. On the right side I will be using the Bad Habit Supernova. So we'll use the same brushes. I'm just going to take the color changer and wipe off between going in here. I started out on my eyes using a eyeshadow primer and going over that to set it with Wet n Wild's Brulee. There is not a shade like that in either one of these palettes. So I'm going to start out with these two colors. They're my favorite colors in this palette for the crease, and that would be Nude Mauve and Nude Vino. Down into Nude Mauve on the Natasha Denona side and come into my crease, circling in and out, back and forth. Tap down again. The corresponding shade in the Supernova palette is Zenith. So I'm going to tap down a couple of times in there and do the same thing. And back in. The brush I'm using in the crease is the Zoeva 228 brush. In the Natasha Denona palette, I'm now going to push down into Nude Vino, and I'm going to come on the outer corner here, just press down and pull in. That's habit. These don't really have any fallout. So I'm just circling on the outer corner with Nude Vino and deepening up the crease. The corresponding shade to Nude Vino on the Supernova palette is right here in the upper right hand corner, and it is called Interstellar. A couple taps down into there and on the outside just like before. And in, back in. And circle in. I'm going to go into Juno on the Natasha Denona palette, which is right down here in the lower right hand corner. I'm just going to grab some of Juno and I'm going to bring it into the inner corner, tap in again, and I'm coming up underneath my brow bone. In the Supernova palette, the corresponding shade is Sirius. It's in the upper right hand corner instead of down here at the bottom. So I'm going to come in here. I'm going to take this smudger brush from the Zoeva line. It's the 226. Helio. Helio is right here in the corner. And on the inner, next to Juno, I'm going to put Helio. Helio's corresponding color is Brilliance. I feel like both of these shades would work better with your finger. I'm going to come into the Natasha Denona Helio and come into Brilliance. That's better. Now I'm going to take my finger and come into this shade here, which is called Pure. I'm going to come into Pure. And I'm going to take that next to Helio. So it's kind of like the middle of my lid. That corresponding color is right there, Flare. Now I'm going to take this angled shader brush from Beauty Junkies, and I'm going to come into Amera, which is right up here. I love this shade. And I'm going to come on the outer corner of the lid and bring in Amera. I'm going to take the smudger brush and come into Amera and come underneath. Amera's twin in the SuperNova palette is in the lower right hand corner, and it's called Celestial. So I'm gonna tap into it. And taking the smudger brush. This is the Morphe M573, I think. It's pretty fluffy, so I don't know. And what I'm going to do is now I'm just going to kind of take it and very lightly go over everything in the outside and in the middle on both sides to just blend and marry them together. I'm going to put on eyeliner and mascara, and I'll be right back. Okay then, so there you have it. $129 versus $16. I hope that you guys enjoyed that because I want to do it again. Next time I think I'd like to take the Naked Heat and show you a dupe and a fake. I'd like to thank you guys for being the best part of the Fritzy family, and if you're not, please consider subscribing to the channel. Don't forget to give me a like, a thumbs up, even if you're not part of the Fritzy family. And if you aren't having a blessed day, go out and be a blessing to somebody else. And until next time, love you, see ya, bye, and I'm out.
What are you doing in there? What's that mouse doing in there? Get out of there, mouse. Nobody wants you in this video. Just stay over there. Abracadabra, Cinderella. I'm the fairy godmother in Cinderella, turning the mice into things. Flare. Right there. Ha! Hashtag world's greatest rhymer. Right there, Flare. As you can see, there's similarities. Ha ha! Hashtag world's greatest rhymer. Like I got big enough eyelashes that, you know, what? I'm fluttering them. That was probably really attractive. Not! I always want to put on my glasses so I can see you, but when I look up here, I don't see anything but me.